try making not a short, but a longer video with this old Latin music and see if it still dings me on copyright. I was trying to log into my Suno app just now. And this is the story of my life this year. So all the other apps on this new Android phone logged in just fine, using the Google Authenticate and be like, what's your email? And then that was it. And then suddenly Suno uses the Google Authenticate and it's like, here we need a code to a number ending in 30. Nice. Now, I don't know which number it is that ends in 30 because there's two of them that I don't have access to. Now, my year began with a transfer from Verizon to Mint Mobile, where a 4-digit PIN was sent to the mother of my kids. This began the saga of the 4-digit PIN two-factor authentication. I never got the PIN through the lawyer channels for 2 weeks about. I had a fender bender. Had to get insurance information out of the same lawyer black hole and could not achieve that. So this begins the authentication nightmare. Accessing bank accounts, accessing any accounts, accessing apps on new devices, which I had recently got a new device. And I had to call and work things out, and it took dozens and dozens of hours just to get back to functional, simply because the lawyer and the mother of my children decided that they wanted to make my life as difficult as possible to, I don't know, get a rise out of me. Well, it worked. They got a rise out of me. That pissed me off. Why would you do that to somebody that has been done everything for you for 10 years, and how, there's a decent relationship there, a good relationship in a lot of aspects, a bad relationship in bedroom, and then decent, not that much fighting compared to some other members of the family and their relationship. Namely, LaShawn and Scott would fight a lot, and it would be intense. And there was a lot of alcohol involved there. There was a lot of alcohol involved in my relationship. All of us used it. And Uncle Cody, we all drank pretty heavily. Anyway, this is a long drive. Now these long drives are good. There's a lot of time to think, but I'm getting tired of getting pushed around the United States. I'm glad about a lot of stuff this summer. The only trouble I really had is in Montana, period. It's been exhausting. The other trouble I've had all year is with my mother. If it weren't, so my mother was on her deathbed years ago after a biking accident, and she almost died. It is my firm belief that if she had died, then my sister would be alive, and I would, of course, that would change the trajectory for my sister's life greatly. Who knows what would have happened? But my mother's involvement in her life towards the end, and my life this year and last, has been nothing but massively detrimental. Worse than the whole phone number fiasco. Worse than the times that I had to go to jail. I only expected the one time after the phone number fiasco. There was a DUI expunged from my record. Another case, $25,000 bail for an accidental heart emoji to a text group. That one fell off. But that was all in the first part of the year. And that was very stressful, confusing, and angering as I tried to camp and continue to pay rent, save money for the down payment. As the weather got warmer, I began shopping for property as I went through West Yellowstone. We'd always thought about Cameron or Ennis or further east, further south, Ashton, Idaho. And then, as I've traveled the country, I look at real estate everywhere. I thought about Monroe, Utah, Escalante, Utah, else, and then throughout. No, it got too hot south of there. I wasn't too interested in purchasing anything. I want to be like near Big Sky. I assumed, I wasn't sure that my kids still live there. I still don't know for sure if they moved. Utah was brought up at one point. The school system in Big Sky is great though, and I think for 10 years or now, because we had flip-flopped on whether we should move down to Escalante, and the schools are a big reason, and my job, making a lot of money, was a big reason, and it was a comfortable life. Skiing sometimes, I was often not skiing as much as I could because I was either working a lot or I interspersed work and sitting around reading the news or playing video games in the winter and then camping in the summer. Summers were my favorite. Last winter, though, it was intense, but I had some amazing days on the slopes. I skied more than I have the past 15, 20 years. The only other time I skied that much is when I was in college. That didn't work. I just got the oil changed in Massachusetts. This is the second oil change. This time the oil maintenance required notification is still on. I don't know if when the oil got changed in Texas, maybe they pushed a button to take off that notification, but now it's still on. And it has, I'm not exactly, I gotta keep track of when to get another oil change. But I wonder if they check it all at Jiffy Lube. I don't think it's the oil filter, or I don't know why I would say oil maintenance required still. I need to look at the manual or look it up online or ChatGPT it. Because I read the court paperwork from this petition for a no contact order. It says stuff in it like making a cartoon about a politician being arrested by Santa was inappropriate. It's called a political cartoon. It wasn't inappropriate. Never will be, hopefully. Hopefully we don't soon live under some sort of government where you can't even make political cartoons, as is the case, I believe, in China, depending on the nature of the cartoon. What's going on there? I don't know. That's a weird one. There's a bunch of other weird ones, like a beer cannon recycling argument, or I apparently drank a 30-pack of Bush beer, I think, in 5 days, which is far less than we all drank for 9 years. She would stop drinking periodically and then start again. And suddenly she stopped drinking and insisted that I completely stop too. Well, different people deal with their habits and addictions in different ways. That's, psychology 101 or substance abuse therapy 101. That's it. You shouldn't, that's being coercive to say, later down the road when I was like, this relationship will only work if you stop drinking, which I did. There was a period of time before that commitment had to be made where I would have like both NA beers around and regular beers around, but once the commitment was made, I was like, whatever. Sure, but that's coercive control. And look where it's ended things up. So that's part of the whole life explosion, midlife crisis I never asked for, that actually had some good results. There's a lot of positives, actually. There's some negatives, no doubt. And there's some ridiculous assumptions that I am fully responsible for all that has happened. Everybody's fully responsible in the world for where we are in the world. Some people definitely have more, like people with more power, they're more responsible for what happens. Whether they're religious leaders or community leaders or politicians. So I ask myself, why is there still so much trouble in the world? Ultimately, I'd call it poor leadership. And just like our leaders not knowing how to get along or lead their people into a situation where there's not so much strife, hunger, war, all this stuff in the world. I have to cast blame, It'd be cool if I didn't feel compelled to, do political cartoons about when the world is such a serious place. There's a lot going on, like the climate is changing. That's just science. I'm talking on a Android phone built by scientists, many of them who were gay over the years, computing itself, Alan Turing. And then in this country, there's all this strife about, the rainbow flag and stuff. And, what? Do you like your phone? Do you like science? Do you like, in the Midwest, there's all this corn. Do you like that it grows faster and, is using nitrogen fertilizer derived from oil through I can't remember the process, but it was invented a long time ago and allowed us to make a lot more food. So our population exploded. There is this veteran I talked to, military veteran chick I was talking to, and she pointed out that, even World War II was used, it stimulated the economy a lot and caused the baby boom. It was also important because there's some wars that need to be fought. We saw what nuclear weapons do in 2 incidents, and now they're far more powerful. There's still saber rattling. There's this idea of mutually assured destruction. During the Clinton administration, Russia would send their nukes to us, or maybe they'd dismantle them there, and then the fissile material would be used to power nuclear power plants. What's better, clean energy or the possibility of destroying massive areas of populated, wonderful cities and churches and stuff? Why even leave the nuclear threat in place? That's one of the, existential threats for humanity itself. why aren't we using our scientists and manpower, woman power, them power, whatever, to solve existential threats? Climate change needs to be addressed. Obviously, there's a lot of resources not going into that. Some philosophers and scientists, Nick Bostrom comes to mind. Well, that's a separate subject, but there's a big push into AI right now. That's more scientists and nerds, if you will, working very hard, and there's a lot of money being poured into it. I read about one effort where they're trying to make a hypothesis machine. In science, a scientist will posit a hypothesis and then see it through to see if it is true or false, and then we learn more about science. So there is a push to create an AI that simply generates and tests hypotheses. Like, how do we solve nuclear fusion? How do we build better AI to solve problems even faster? Like building even better AI so we can solve problems even faster, so we can get ahead of things like climate change without making mistakes, without the existential threat of building an AI so strong it takes over and is a detriment to humankind. Other existential threats are like a meteor coming out from behind the sun that we can't see, or from anywhere. That we've got all the meteors pretty well mapped out, I believe. And there's other it's just not something I think about very often. But again, it's like, why are we putting so much power into fighting when this is the time to work together? Why aren't our leaders talking about these threats to large portions of various populations? Why are we talking about like if you look at the topics that come up in the Supreme Court, there's other things to do with like our leadership. Like, I'm sitting here, having a $25,000 bail for a heart emoji, and they tried to get me on a Facebook post and a WhatsApp message about climate change too. Like, why is the focus on that? There's like accused child abusers who get lighter bails than that, and lighter potential jail time. There's people that intentionally cause bodily harm to people, break their leg, whatever. Lighter bail, like where do our priorities lie? Okay, so there's some music in there. I'm going to see if that gets blocked on BlockTube. Oh, that's a whole other thing, is copyright and AI music. That's why I wanted to sign into Suno, so I could listen to some of my AI music, and that shouldn't get blocked because it's like original. And then musicians are, a lot of them are angry about that. Like, no, he took our jobs. He took our jobs. In South Park. Anyway. And that's it. There's already, I know several people that have lost their jobs that think, like one of my friends, Mark Smith, he's like my first friend. He's a game programmer. He lost his job for one reason or another. But depending on the type of programming, and if it involves creativity, a lot of programmers are at risk of losing their jobs. A lot of truck drivers are at risk of losing their jobs. Like in the not too distant future, self-driving trucks is going to be a thing. Or maybe they can remotely drive them from home, and there can be like various safety measures. And then like in the cities and stuff, like a human driver takes over these long stretches between like Illinois and Colorado. Like, come on. There are like complicated sections in cities I've noticed, and areas with a lot of road work where there could be, I don't know, it's like there could be people stationed there to navigate those. You want to provide everybody jobs, like every 4 years, you know, a president will be like, I made 300,000 jobs or 30,000 more jobs. A lot of those jobs are like not jobs I would want to do, that are just jobs for jobs' sake. Like, people want to do that, go for it, but to just have jobs for jobs' sake when there's this much wealth inequality, and you know, if we can solve our world problems and make war less of a thing, our wonderful military can be used to do more good and less harm, like more military nurses, more, and yeah, of course we always need to defend from threats, but it'd be cool if we get rid of the threats, or at least try a lot harder. And then I imagine a world where everybody gets to work like 20 hours a week or work remotely. In my job, I would do about 10 hours remote, and then I got very efficient in my time in the kitchen. Yeah, wish my mom respected my directly telling her to not come to Big Sky last year in December. I told her specifically to wait until after the busiest period of the year, which is Christmas week. She came up and she made a mess. She's still, to this day, in late August, does not get it. That's the power of 2 traumatic brain injuries. She does not get it. I cannot talk to her because she bowls over me like an avalanche of Suzanne. It's disgusting. It's very angry. And she still doesn't get it. As my father pointed out, she makes stuff up regularly and then can't forget or can't remember what happened 2 days ago. Her long-term memory is excellent. Her mid-term memory is also horrible. Like, she can't form new memories very well, and that's why she forgets stuff between, like, I'd say from the first brain injury till now, the mid-term and short-term memory is just gone. It's sad, it's dumb, it's sad, it affected my life so deeply, and it's sad, and it's dumb, and it made me very angry. Okay, I'm going to upload this thing.